Breacher18 here from Breacher18.com on behalf of the UK Gaming Media Network, and we're here with Bourget from NSKN Games. Okay, we have Exodus: Edge of Extinction,
yes,
which is an expansion to one of your popular games,
yes,
in the Exodus universe.
It's the expansion for Exodus Proxima Centauri. The revised edition, because Exodus Proxima Centauri, there was the first edition, then the revised edition with greatly upgraded components. And this one goes with the revised edition, basically. What we have here is some of the components, and these are the components of one of the first production copies we managed to get. The game was kickstarted recently. I mean, the expansion was kickstarted recently. We are now printing the expansion, and we are printing the best game, the base game, because we sold out. What we see here is, like I said, some of the components of the expansion. This is not a standalone expansion in the base game. What it introduces into the base game, probably the most important thing, is it introduces factions. In the base game, this was a little bit generic. You were playing blue, red, white, purple, and so on. In this game, every color is a faction with their own history, with their own special abilities, and with their own technologies.
Okay, so if you're into games that have like a universe around them and you like the fluff of those games, then this sounds, you know, very immersive in that respect.
Yeah.
So
the base game of Exodus had a little piece of the game story there, but this tells us a little more about what happened during the game, what set up this universe, and about the factions of people that left Earth. And each of those factions, like I said, has their own special abilities and their own special technologies. Furthermore, what it introduces is that it allows you to have bigger fleets. There are no new ship types, but each fleet can be bigger now with new ships. Bigger maps, bigger games. It also introduces combat cards. Combat cards are a new feature of the game. When you, in the base game, when you go fight another player, so when you meet on a hex tile, you would just duke it out using your technologies, your upgrades for the ships, rolling dice. Here, you can also play combat cards, a little bit like, for example, in War of the Ring.
yeah.
So you play a combat card, everyone has a chance to play a combat card, which will alter the conditions of this specific round of combat. So you can, for example, allow yourself to more easily score hits.
You can manipulate the outcome of the combat.
You can do a lot of different things. You
Yeah.
can, and based on what you have in your hand, the combat cards, you may also want to change your game style, because some of the combat cards either boost or penalize having a specific type of ship. So you may want to also play a little bit around the combat cards you have.
So this is also introducing a sort of another level of strategy in terms of when to play things, when not to play things, how you can alter that combat.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it looks fantastic, and this is a production copy.
Yes, this is an early production copy, what we see here. So these are actually the final components. This is, as you can see, still unpunched. What we get here, for example, this here is an extra board. Every faction will also come with this smaller board you will put next to your regular player board to track the extra ships you will get and to track your special technologies. A lot of people are used to the fact that you can actually place the cubes in those nice
These nice little divots here. So you can place these, guessing these?
Exactly. So when you place them, you can just place them in this.
See that? Oh, yeah.
So
we definitely like that.
So if you sneeze, for example, your cubes won't be all over the place. You'll still know which technologies you have.
That would have to be a pretty powerful sneeze to dislodge that.
Oh, well, it happens, okay? It happens. Now, what we also get here is we get some new engines, because new technologies introduce new engine types. They introduce new shields, so you get a little bit of everything new, what was in the base game. And it also comes with new action cards. This is pretty important because every faction now has their own set of action cards.
Okay.
In the base game, everyone got the same set of action cards. Here, every faction has a slightly different set, that corresponds to the faction's abilities.
Okay, so each faction will play slightly different.
Oh yes.
Which, again, it gives variability to the game.
Actually, from our playtests, it looks like every faction plays very differently, not slightly differently.
Okay.
Some of the factions have their own ways to score extra points. We have a faction that is very much based on technology, and that faction not only is quick to develop technologies, but they can also score points on technologies. We have a faction that makes a lot of money, and that faction can also score points using money. So basically, the game changes a lot when you're playing a specific faction, but it still plays fast. The base game of Exodus, what was important to us was to create this grand feel without playing for 5 hours.
Yeah, which, to be fair, it can be a huge issue for certain gamers. Like myself, I'm not into really long games. I do like something sort of medium weight that can be just quickly, you know, bang, 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 that's it. Yeah, that was really great, let's have another game of it. So it's got that very streamlined feel to it. Excellent.
The expansion adds about 15 minutes per player.
Right, okay.
So
that's not a huge difference, really.
That's not, and it also introduces shorter games. So because the base game of Exodus is played until a certain number of rounds is reached. And in this case, while playing this, you can play a game that is 1 round shorter than the shortest version of Exodus. Since you start with some extra setup stuff on the table when you play with the expansion, it does not feel you've lost something. You can make the game shorter, effectively making it as long as a base game of Exodus without feeling that you've lost something there.
Yeah, so it's not like you're compensating in that respect. You're not, you know, giving something up.
No.
You know, in terms of gameplay.
No, definitely not.
And when can we expect this?
Quite soon, actually. Like I said, this is a production copy. We will have the rest within a short time, within, I don't know, maybe 2-3 weeks, and we will start sending them out to backers. After they go to backers, they will be available in retail. But again, the backers have to get them first, then they will go to retail.
Yeah. So you can be expecting that one very soon, especially if you're a backer, even sooner. Thank you.
Thank you
for joining me, and thank you guys for watching.